Hello my dear students, today we will learn electrostatics part 2 of topic electric lines of force. Just previous classes we have discussed what is electric field, how can you calculate electric field intensity for point charge and dipoles, and so many problems we have discussed. But today's topic is very curious for you because today we will discuss the electric lines of force. First of thing, you think that today class is your drawing class. Drawing class means very interesting class, no strain. So you should not strain about what drawing today we will study. Today what drawing we will study? Now we have to draw the pictures of electric field of a point charge or more than one charge and distribution of charges. First of thing we think, why we need a pictorial representation of electric field? Its answer is pictorial representation gives a user friendly to represent electric field of a source charge. Just previous class you remember the electric field intensity formula is F by plus Q. By using this formula, you can calculate the strength of the electric field. Then by using a conventional positive test charge, you are kept in your mind that the nature of the electric field for positive source charge is diverging, because if the source charge is positive, then it repels the positive test charge. That's why it is diverging. Previous class we have discussed. If source is a negative charge, then you will attract the positive test charge. That's why the nature of the electric field is converging. Again I am repeating, for positive source charge, the nature of the electric field is diverging, and for negative source charge, the nature of the electric field is converging. Now we will replace that formula. Now we will go into a pictorial representation of electric field. That means we have to draw some pictures of some source charges. From pictures, how we will calculate the magnitude and direction of the electric field. And it is very convenient to calculate, to get an idea of the strength of the electric field and the direction of electric field. For example, I will say, if you will see the cricket game on your TV, and sometimes you will see some screen, there is a table is there over and around. If you just see that picture, some idea is kept in your mind what is the progress of the game. Similarly, here some drawings are there. If you will plot the drawing, if you will look inside this drawing, then you get an idea of the strength of the electric field and the direction of the electric field. For example, you see here, in the previous class we have taken a positive source charge is here. Now this is the desired point where you have to calculate intensity. If source charge is positive, by convention test charge is positive, then this source charge will repel this test charge. That's why the direction of intensity is outward. And the general formula of electric field intensity due to a single isolated point charge is beta Q by R square. That means if you will increase the distance from the source charge, then field strength decreases. Near that is a larger field. When you will go far away, field strength will be less. Similarly, if it does not change its position, if source charge is more, then field strength will be more. That it is discussed in this formula. And the direction of intensity is diverging for positive source charge, and for negative source charge, direction of intensity will be inward or converging. Now you see how we will represent the pictorial representation. Here it is a positive source charge is here. Now you kept in your mind there is a positive test charge, kept in mind. Then this positive source charge will repel this test charge. Then it will come to here. Then again it will repel. By this, in this way, test charge will move by repulsive force of the source charge. Similarly, another line you cannot draw here. In this way, the test charge will go outside. In this way, test charge will go outside. In this way, another test charge will go outside. Similarly, in all the directions, you see the direction of positive test charge is outwards. That means it is taking away from the source charge. These lines are called electric lines of force. Actually, this line is not real. This is imaginary concept. We are just drawing for our convenience. For our clear understanding in pictorial form, we are just drawing the line. That means these lines are imaginary lines. From this imaginary line, how can you calculate the direction? A very simple answer is, any line you draw a tangent. You draw a tangent that represent the direction of electric field intensity. Now you see the picture, the lines of force, these imaginary lines are very crowded near the source charge and very far away from the source charge. That means the lines of force are wide apart, or they are apart to each other. There is a large gap, but here is a small gap. That means near the lines of force are crowded, and in far distance the lines of force are wide apart. That means more is the number of lines of force represent strength of the field. Smaller number of lines of force region represent the weaker field. So we can get an idea from this lines of force. So lines of force is an imaginary line. The tangent at every point on it gives the direction of intensity. And if you will compare this region and this region, same area, you see in this area two lines of force are passing. Same area, only one lines of forces is going. That means the number of lines of force crossing normally from a given area gives the strength of the field intensity. That means more is the lines of force, more is the field. From this idea, we can set up the definition of electric lines of force. When exam question will ask what is the lines of force, you first write it is an imaginary line. That means that line is not real. For our convenience, we are drawing the lines. These are the imaginary lines. The tangent at every point on it, gives the direction of intensity. And second part is the number of lines of force crossing per unit normal area. You should write number of lines of force passing or crossing per unit normal area gives strength of the electric field about that point in this region of the electric field. Again I am repeating, what is electric lines of force? Electric lines of force is an imaginary line. The tangent at every point on it gives the direction of intensity at that point. And second part is the number of lines of force crossing normally gives the strength of the electric field intensity. This is the definition of electric lines of force. Now we have to discuss what are the properties of the electric lines of force. One by one we will discuss. First point is, if there is no electric field, there is no meaning of lines of force. If yes, that means if electric field is there, so definitely lines of force there. So your first point conclusion is that if there is no electric field, there should be no electric lines of force that represent zero electric field. Then second point, in the given lines of force, arrow mark is given. Just I am seeing the diagram. What represent arrow mark? Now arrow mark represent the motion of the positive charge. Then you ask, sir, why you are telling the positive charge? Because by convention, for testing the electric field, we always taken positive test charge. That's why the arrow mark represent the motion of the free positive charge. So second point is that arrow mark represent the motion of free positive charge, or you can say test charge, on the lines of force in the given field. Then third point, the direction of lines of force always originates from positive charge and ends at negative charge. Why? Now if it is source charge is positive, if test charge is taken here, because for testing the field we have always to take the test charge positive. Here you see, here the positive source charge will repel this one, and this negative source charge will attract this one. So we can say that the test charge moves from positive charge to negative charge. A test charge motion represent lines of force. So you should remember the direction of electric lines of force always starts from positive charge to the negative charge. But in later cases you will read the induced electric field. In that cases something different we will discuss this later. But in general case the direction of electric lines of force usually starts from positive charge and ends at negative charge. That is important characteristics. Sometimes exams this questions also comes. Why two electric lines of force does not intersect each other? You should remember when you draw the electric lines of force, you should remember your lines of force should not intersect each other. Why should not intersect each other? You see the diagram. Let this represent electric field. One lines of force is represent 1 and another lines of force represent 2. Lines of force may be curved, may be straight line. For single charge it always straight line. If more than one charge, so test charge will move in resultant path. It may be curved or it may be straight. So these are the two curved line of electric field. One is number 1 and another one is number 2. You see, everywhere is correct, but at the point of intersection that is wrong. Why wrong? Now you said the definition that the tangent at every point on the lines of force represent direction of electric field. Here you see this is the lines of force number 1. This is the point P. Here tangent is this one. For lines of force number 2, tangent is this one. So at the point P, from the curve 1 direction of intensity is in this way. From the curve 2 the direction of intensity is in this way. But in vector sense, direction should be unique. This is the definition of vector. What is vector? The physical quantity which has a specific direction. But here you see the electric field intensity is a vector quantity, but direction is not specific. In this way also, in this way also. So this is wrong for vector identity. So two different direction of intensity at a particular point is impossible. So when question comes where two electric lines of force does not intersect, so you will say by drawing the diagram that at the point of intersection we are getting two directions of intensity which is undesirable. That means it is not suitable for a vector quantity. So this property you should remember, two electric lines of force does not intersect each other. Again just to refresh all these 4 points. First one is if there is no electric field, no lines of force. If electric field is there, then we have to draw the lines of force. Arrow mark represent the motion of a free positive or test charge on the lines of force in the field. Direction of electrical lines of force usually starts from positive charge and ends at negative charge. Two electrical lines of force never intersect each other because at the point of intersection we will get two different directions of intensity. Now you will see the next property, number 5. In the previous class we know that at any point intensity is directly proportional to Q. If more is the source charge, more is the electric field. In a pictorial representation what we will see? More number of lines of force. So we can say if E is more, lines of force is more. If lines of force is more, then magnitude of source charge should be more. So point is that the number of lines of force originate or terminate. Why two words are written here? Originate means for positive source charge. Terminate means for negative source charge. For positive source charge, electric lines of force originate. For negative source charge, electric lines of force terminate. So point should be the number of electric lines of force originate or terminate is directly proportional to magnitude of the source charge. For example, you see the diagram. Here is 50 coulomb charge and here is 20 coulomb charge. Here the lines of force, if you will count, this will be more. But here 20 coulomb, if you will count the lines of force, it will be less. So these two diagrams show that more is the source charge, more is the lines of force. More is the lines of force means more is the field. Here field is more and here field is less because source charge is less. Here field is more because source charge is more. So point should be remember the number of lines of force originate or terminate is directly proportional to magnitude of the source charge. There is also a formula for you. You will discuss this formula in later on, and this formula is commonly known as a Gauss theorem in electrostatics. In later classes we will read this formula. We just remember this formula. What represent here? The number of maximum lines of force. There is a formula. How many lines of force, maximum lines of force originate or terminate from a given charge? That formula is Q by epsilon 0 in SI system and 4 pi Q in CGS or Gaussian system or electrostatic unit. How this formula comes, we will discuss in Gauss theorem. Only you remember if charge Q is given, so you can calculate what is the maximum number of lines of force. For example, if in exam question 1 coulomb of charge, what should be your answer? 1 coulomb means that is SI system. SI system means you use this formula. You put 1 coulomb here, so answer is 1 by epsilon 0. If 1 start coulomb is given question, so you should use this CGS formula. So if you put Q1 here, so answer is 4 pi. That means for 1 coulomb the maximum number of lines of force is 1 by epsilon 0. For 1 start coulomb the maximum lines of force is 4 pi. But if in question not mention coulomb or start coulomb, only mentions unit charge, if you will write 1 by epsilon 0, then you will get the answer. If you will write 4 pi, then that is also correct for your answer. If one charge is, unit charge is given, question is given unit charge, you may write 1 by epsilon 0 or you may write 4 pi. But if question written 1 coulomb, your answer must be 1 by epsilon 0. That coming from this formula. If question is mentioned 1 start coulomb, your answer is 4 pi, and that also coming from this formula. And this formula is known as a Gauss theorem that we will discuss in later cases. So what we discussed this at the points? So point was that more is the charge, more is the lines of force. Lesser is the charge, lesser is the number of lines of force. And the maximum lines of force originate or terminate from a source charge Q is Q by epsilon 0 in SI system or 4 pi Q in CGS system. Then another formula for you, another property of electric lines of force. What is the nature of electric lines of force? In a previous class, you know that nature of electric lines of force is diverging for positive source charge and converging for negative source charge. Here you see the diagram. This is the lines of force represented by a plus Q. Here you see the lines of force are originating from this source charge. Why? Now if you keep test charge here, so this charge will repel. That's why diverging. For negative source charge is negative. If you will keep test charge is always positive. It will attracted towards the negative source charge. That's why the nature of the electric lines of force is converging. Converging means arrow mark is inward. Diverging means arrow mark is outward. So point should be remember, the nature of the electric lines of force is diverging for positive source charge and converging for negative source charge. Then next property, it is also repeating. Two electric lines of force do not intersect each other. We should skip it. Then another point is electric lines of force is always, this is a very important point, electric lines of force is always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. So many things you have to know here. You have to know what is equipotential surface. Then we will discuss why electric lines of force is perpendicular. You just see what is equipotential surface, we will discuss later, because there is a chapter potential. On that potential chapter we have to discuss equipotential surface. Only you remember, if it is equipotential surface, so it is a negatively charged plate. Surface of a charged conductor is always an equipotential surface. That's why this example is given, surface of a metallic conductor. Why surface of a conductor is equipotential surface, we will discuss later. Why electrical lines of force is perpendicular, it will also discuss later. But as we are discussing the property of electric lines of force, we are adding these lines. Just to only remember, electric lines of force is always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Why it is perpendicular? We will discuss when we will discuss the equipotential surface. This is the characteristics number 7 we have discussed. Then another characteristics. First you see the diagram. These are the curves represent a electric field. There are 2 points marked here, A and B. You just simply mark it. Here you see A. In this region the lines of force are crowded, and you see the region B. The lines of force are wide apart. That means if you will given same amount of area at A and B, in this figure more number of lines of force will cross, but in this figure less number of lines of force will cross. If more number of lines of force are crossing, so we will see that, we can say that the field of magnitude at A is more and field magnitude at B is less. That's why in this given figure A point and B point is marked here. If anyone asks which one is greater field, you confidently say that intensity at A is more than intensity at B. Why? Now here the number of lines of force are more. This is the definition from the lines of force. How can you calculate the strength of the field? In the definition we have discussed the strength of the magnetic electric field is calculated by calculating the number of lines of force per unit area. So from this figure it is concluded that if the electrical lines of force are crowded, then field strength is more. If the electrical lines of force are wide apart means large gaps are there, then field strength is less. So this is another property. Electric lines of force are crowded for stronger electric field and wider apart for weaker field. There are two diagrams. You see here there are two positive charges are there. First you see the diagram, then we will discuss the points. Two positive point charges are there. So many lines of force are drawing here. This represent the electric field of these two charges, plus Q and this plus Q. Why these lines looking like this? I am just saying, just simply see. Then for another diagram, you should not worry about these diagrams. First you see. Here two charges. Two charges means lines of force starts to curved one. Why? Now here you see, for positive source charge is here, here is also positive source charge. If I will take a test charge here, plus Q, this source charge will repel. Simultaneously, at that moment, another source charge is positive plus Q, it also repel. So both are repel in the same direction, so resultant path is in this way. So this lines of force is directed in this way. Now you see in this point, if you will plus Q is kept here, plus Q will repel, here plus Q is repel. Both are repel in the same direction. So this in this way, this line, and this line is in this way. But if there is no discharge is there, if plus Q is there, so lines of force is straight line and outwards. But as here plus Q charge is here, if a test charge moves towards it, this charge will repel. For simultaneously these two forces, resultant path is in this way. So by practice you can draw all these lines. This is blank space, that means this region is zero electric field. In numericals you know that if plus Q charge is there, in between point neutral point is there, net electric field is zero. So this point is zero electric field. So you can say this one is neutral point. Neutral point means zero electric field. These are the paths of respective lines of force represent electric field. As a positive source charge, lines of force are away from the source charges, and these you should here plus Q and plus Q amount is same. So you should count these lines of force should be same. Here is 3, 3, 6, 7. This one is also 7. Because same charge means same number of lines of force. And very careful when you drawing these imaginary lines. Initially I have told that all these lines are imaginary, not true. If you put charge Q, you feel that some lines will come, nothing. Only the imaginary concept, just to express the pictorial representation of electric field, we are drawing this. That means from these lines we can discuss what is the strength of the electric field, what is the nature of the electric field in this region. And here the point is written that electric lines of force expand laterally. Why this line is written? Lateral means this is a longitudinal line and this line is lateral. As lines of force are expanding laterally, that's why this word is written expand laterally. Why expanding? Because like point charges repel each other. Similarly, another diagram is for you. Here is plus q and minus q. This is an example of electric dipole. This represents electrical lines of force of an electric dipole also. Here you see why this line is in this way. You just see, if you will test charge plus q, this charge will repel. But you say that simultaneously this charge will attract. So you can ask questions to me. Sir, this one repel and this one attract. Why going in this way? Why not in this way? Now you just see, here source charge is nearer to this one. Here source charge is far away. You already know that if source charge is far away, field strength is less. If source charge is near one, field strength is more. That means field strength due to this charge is more than this charge. As this charge repel, that's why the resultant path is repel. So here the motion of lines of force is in this way, in motion of lines of force here in this way, but it coming because minus q means lines of force coming. At the middle, from positive charge lines of force starts here. If there is no another charges, this lines of force should be like this. But due to this minus charge, this will pulled one. This will pulled one. That means lines of force are contract longitudinally, means in this line. In this figure, expand laterally because like charge repel. In this figure, lines of force contract longitudinally because unlike charges attract each other. Here the like charges repel each other. Here the like charges attract each other. Then another property of electric lines of force we will discuss. You see here, there are 4 lines of force, A, B, C, D. This is a multiple choice question. I am putting you all these electrical lines of force. You marked verily. Arrow mark represent the direction of the field intensity in a respective point. Here you see gaps are same. Here gaps are different. Here gaps are different. So if you will ask which one is uniform electric field, so instantly you mark that, sir, this one. Your answer is true. Uniform electric field means field strength is the same and direction part should be same. In this figure, you see gap is same. That means field strength at this point and at this point are same. But field direction at this point is in this way, at this point is in this way because tangent will change. So here magnitude is same but direction is different. So it can never be uniform electric field. Here directions are same but magnitude are different. Here both direction and magnitude part is different. Here both magnitude and direction part is different. So in all these figures, there is no figure that both direction and magnitude strength is same. Then what happens for uniform electric field? Picture should be what? Now picture should be like this. If all the lines of force are equispaced, then you say that field strength is the same and the lines are parallel means field direction is also same. So this represents uniform electric field. So we can write the property of uniform electric field. What is the nature of electric lines of force? Now here out of 5 figures, this one represents uniform electric field. Both magnitude and direction part is same. So this is a clear picture of uniform electric field. You see the lines of force are parallel and equispaced. This represents uniform electric field. So nature of uniform electric field always parallel and equispaced. These are the properties of electric field that we have discussed. Just I summarize it. First of thing, the direction of electric lines of force represent tangent at every point on it. The number of lines of force per unit normal area gives the strength of the electric field. If no electric field, no lines of force. Arrow mark represent motion of a free positive charge in the electric lines of force. The direction of electric lines of force usually starts from positive charge to negative charge. important point, two electric lines of force does not intersect each other, because at the point of intersection we will get two different directions of intensity. Similarly, for positive source charge, nature of electric lines of force is diverging. If more is the charge, more is the lines of force. That means magnitude of electrical lines of force is directly proportional to magnitude of the source charge. And there is a formula you should remember: the maximum number of lines of force originate or terminate from the charge q is q by epsilon 0 in SI system, 4 pi q in CJ system. And the nature of electric lines of force is diverging for positive source charge and converging for negative source charge. Again, important property, the electric lines of force is always perpendicular. You see the figure, always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. This is a equipotential surface, and electric lines of force must be enter or touch with an angle of 90 degree. Why 90 degree we will discuss in later classes. Then another property, more is the lines of force, more is the electric field. That means the electrical lines of force are crowded for a stronger field and wider apart for weaker field. And the lines of force expand laterally, and the lines of force contract longitudinally. For a uniform electric field, the nature of the electric lines of force are always parallel and equispaced. Some figures are there, just you have to practice how you can draw the electric lines of force. Number one, there are three positive charges, same magnitude of charge. They are represented at the corners of an equilateral triangle. How will you draw? First, to imagine geometric concept, which one is a straight line. So this line and this line and this line, only three lines are straight line. As positive, they will repel each other. As the magnitude of charge is same, so you can count the number of lines of force. It should be same, and this point is a neutral point, means there is no electric field. That means the resultant electric field is 0 here. Similarly, for positive charges situated at the vertices of a square, first you draw the straight line. Straight line is along the diagonal. 4 diagonals, 4 straight lines are there. Positive charge means diverging, arrow mark is going away from the charge. You see markedly there is no lines of force intersect each other. This is the region of 0 electric field, as both charges repel, and you can count the number of lines of force as both the charges, all the charges are same. This is the region of 0 electric field or neutral point. But another question is for you. Here see plus q and minus q are situated at the vertices of a equilateral triangle. How can you draw the diagram? First you see only one straight line is outward here. As a negative charge mean arrow mark is inside it. As a positive charge mean outside. Here you see both positive charge repel. So first you draw these lines. Positive and negative means straight line you can join. Then contract longitudinally. Then by symmetric manner you can just practice, and if your exam come, draw the electric lines of force of this figure. You take just an idea and you draw the lines. Then another questions for you. This is the electric lines of force for two negative charges. We have already discussed two positive charges. This is two negative charges. As both the charges are same, the number of lines of force should be same. Neutral point is at the middle point. As a negative charge means arrow mark should be inside. Examiner will check these ones, whether the arrow mark is properly given or not, neutral point is properly selected or not. Now important questions for you. There are two charges Q1 and Q2, both positive, but Q1 is much greater than Q2. How can you draw the electric lines of force? This straight line first you draw, outwards and outwards. They will repel each other. You just see this figure and this figure. Here repulsion is exactly middle point, but here it is not middle point. This is a practice of numericals we have done. We already done the 10 coulomb or 2 coulomb. So neutral point is near 2 coulombs. That's why this neutral point should be at the near charges, smaller charges. Here Q1 is smaller, Q1 is greater. So neutral point should be at smaller charges. If both are same, so neutral point should be at this middle point. Second thing, Q1 is more means more number of lines of force for Q1 and less number of lines of force for Q2. So you can count the number of lines of force and number of lines of force. By this counting number of lines of force, you can also compare the magnitude of the source charges. Then this is an example of electric dipole that is in your syllabus. Electric dipole, electric field we have calculated. Sometimes question may ask, draw its electric lines of force. How it its electric field represent? And here is positive charge and here is a negative charge. Positive charge means arrow mark is outside, negative charge means arrow mark inside. You just see negative charges, arrow mark is entering. Positive charge means arrow mark is going away. As it will contract longitudinally, that's why contraction is there. And number of lines of force should be same because magnitude of charge both plus Q and minus Q are same. This is an example of electric lines of force of the electric dipole. So next class we will discuss the more about electric lines of force and uniform electric field. Thank you all. So what today we have discussed, you just go through the definition, all these properties keep in your mind. If all these properties are kept in your mind, then we will be very easier to discuss in next classes. Thank you.